Winter has always been the great equalizer. Whether you were a farmer in medieval Japan or a modern person facing a power outage during a blizzard, the cold tests both body and mind. The samurai, remembered for their discipline and martial skill, were also masters of preparedness in the harshest seasons. Their stoic approach to surviving long, bitter winters is more than a historical curiosity. It's a practical philosophy we can apply today. In this guide, we'll explore how the samurai prepared for the cold, managed resources, and hardened both body and spirit to endure what nature threw at them. Stay with this to the end, because these forgotten hacks are not only about surviving winter, but thriving in it. Beyond the katana, the winter warrior's mindset. The popular image of a samurai centers on the sword, the armor, and the battlefield. But beneath that, their greatest weapon was discipline. Winter brought isolation, scarcity, and discomfort, yet the samurai did not rail against it. They treated the cold season as a chance to strengthen resolve. This mindset, seeing hardship as a forge for character, remains relevant. Today, many of us dread winter storms, power cuts, or icy roads. But the samurai mindset reframes winter not as an obstacle but as training. If you can meet the season without complaint, your mind grows stronger. A practical way to apply this is through intentional exposure. Begin each morning in winter by stepping outside briefly without full comfort layers, breathing deeply and accepting the cold instead of fleeing from it. This trains the body to adapt and teaches the mind to stop panicking at discomfort. It's a small but powerful echo of the samurai's stoic acceptance. The unseen arsenal of pre-winter strategic assessment. Samurai commanders never waited until a siege began to take stock of their supplies and defences. They assessed their strongholds ahead of time, noting every weakness. Winter was its own siege, and the same method was applied to households. Food stores were checked, firewood stacked, water sources secured, and dwellings examined for drafts or structural weakness. This practice translates directly to modern winter preparedness. Before the season strikes, do your own siege assessment. Walk your home and note where cold seeps in, under doors, through thin windows, around attic spaces. These are the breaches in your fortress. Simple repairs like adding weather stripping or stuffing draft excluders in gaps can save immense amounts of heat and fuel. Next, examine your supply chain. Samurai stockpiled rice, pickled vegetables and dried fish. You can stock non-perishable food, bottled water, and medical supplies. Think of it as a campaign. You must outlast the cold until relief arrives, and every overlooked detail could be costly. The cold forge of insulation and internal heat. With resources limited, samurai families turned to ingenuity rather than excess. Layered natural fibres were essential. Silk underlayers, hemp or cotton outerwear, and straw cloaks provided remarkable insulation. Homes were designed with shoji screens and fusuma doors to conserve heat by dividing large spaces into smaller, warmer rooms. Fires were not just for cooking, they were strategically placed for maximum efficiency. From this we learn two key lessons: insulation and internal heat. For insulation, mimic the principle of layered defences. Instead of over-relying on a single source of warmth, layer thin but effective protections. Hang heavy curtains to trap heat at night, roll towels against door bottoms, and designate 1 or 2 rooms as your core quarters where heat is concentrated. Internal heat, meanwhile, is just as vital. The samurai valued hot teas brewed from herbs and roasted rice. Such drinks warmed the core and kept spirits high. They also practiced controlled breathing, similar to today's meditative techniques. Try sitting still, focusing on slow inhalations that expand the belly, followed by deep exhalations. This simple act raises body temperature and calms the mind. The cold tests your body, but your breathing steadies the fire within. The discipline of resourcefulness in crisis is, well, something the samurai knew all too well. No matter how much was prepared, crises came. Rivers froze, food stores dwindled, storms cut off travel. Here the samurai's resourcefulness became their survival. Water was often melted from snow, but always boiled to ensure safety. Firewood was stretched by using charcoal braziers, which burned longer and cleaner than open logs. Food was extended by stretching rice with foraged greens or preserved roots. The lessons here are honestly quite straightforward. Secure water sources before you need them. Store containers of clean water, but also keep purification tablets or learn how to boil and filter snowmelt. Fire should be mastered as more than comfort. It is for cooking, sanitation and morale. Today's equivalent might be a small wood stove, safe indoor heater, or even candles combined with reflective surfaces to maximize heat. Resourcefulness also means adaptability, finding ways to make limited supplies last without panic. Mentally, the samurai also trained themselves for isolation. Long hours of solitary meditation or writing prepared them for winters where travel and communication halted. In our own world, extended blackouts or snow-ins can cause frustration and stress. Instead of succumbing to anxiety, adopt the practice of quiet focus. Keep a journal, read, or undertake tasks that slow the mind. These practices turn solitude from torment into training. The way of adaptability in embracing winter's challenge is perhaps one of the most overlooked lessons from the samurai. They did not merely endure winter, they adapted to it. Training continued in the snow. Warriors learned how to move in silence across frozen ground, how to fight in layers of heavy clothing, and how to hunt when resources were scarce. Winter was not an interruption, but another environment in which mastery was required. For practical use today, this means not becoming immobilized by snow and ice. Learn safe methods for walking on ice, such as taking smaller steps and distributing weight evenly. Keep simple tools for mobility, like ice cleats for boots or sand for traction. Dress in layers that wick moisture, insulate and shield from wind, as the samurai once did. Even brief outdoor excursions in winter should be approached with preparation. Adaptability also means embracing the challenge rather than shrinking from it. Instead of seeing the season as wasted time, use it to repair tools, strengthen skills or deepen knowledge. The samurai trained with wooden swords indoors, meditated to sharpen the mind, and planned campaigns. You can adopt similar habits, learn new skills, organize your space, or prepare for the seasons ahead. Winter will always test us, but the samurai show that survival is not only about physical measures. It is equally about mindset, preparation, resourcefulness, and adaptability. By treating the cold as a teacher rather than an enemy, they grew stronger each season. We too can apply these lessons by securing our homes, conserving resources, keeping fire and water under control, and maintaining mental clarity when storms close in. The Stoic hacks of the samurai remind us that winter is not something to fear, but something to face with quiet discipline. Prepare ahead, live simply, and treat each hardship as training for resilience. If you found value in this historical guide and want more forgotten wisdom that still applies today, make sure you subscribe to In the Beginning. Share this with others who care about timeless survival strategies, and let's keep these lessons alive for the next generation.